watching Bookmarks, the show about books and people that talk about books. Now, one of the most prominent features of the Homo sapiens is the propensity for imposing complex systems on everything, whether complexity is needed or not. If all that is needed is to move from point A to point B, one can be certain that the collective human animal will make sure the journey is as arduous and arbitrary as possible. Signs will be constructed, speed limits will be legislated, a license will be required, fees will have to be paid, and the stretch between A and B will be patrolled. It is a sad fact of human existence that in addition to sustenance, sleep, air, and expelling waste, a purpose is needed to survive. Therefore, the species has evolved the ability, and more importantly, the desire to construct these arbitrary and bafflingly complicated systems in order to create a need that can then be filled, creating purpose where none actually exists. Evidence is everywhere you look. A gathering of legislators will legislate, concocting law after law until any real understanding of the legal system is impossible for anyone with even a lick of common sense. Bankers left unattended will create financial products so complex that they defy explanation, giving rise to massive synthetic markets that exist in a separate state of logic and morality and upset the balance of supply and demand. Managers look for new ways to manage, creating an ever-changing set of expectations, so that there will always be someone needed to manage the transitions. Psychologists identify and label new mental illnesses that they will then be needed to treat, and doctors do surgery that isn't necessary to keep their hands busy and their pockets full. A glaring example of this human need to find purpose in nothing is in the world of cooking, embodied in the gourmet chef. Whether through paid advertising or through the toadying review of a so-called food critic, these cooks elevate themselves to the level of artists, as if a good meal could rival a good song or a delicious dessert could compare to the depth of a novel. It is comparable to the faith-based world of fashion. Their purpose is based on belief and convincing others of that belief. There comes a point where the purpose is forgotten altogether in favor of the faith. The meal is forgotten and more complex systems appear. The next thing you know, you find yourself licking cherry chutney off an unsanded redwood spoon after a starter of lemon-flavored oxygen. Complexity is mistaken for goodness, in part because no one wants to be the one to say that the emperor has no clothes on, and that the meal has failed to serve as even basic sustenance. Which brings us to the world of books. These useless chefs have invaded the once sparsely populated world of cookbooks. It seems like everyone with a tongue and a clean kitchen has thrown their hat into the ring. In a flooded market, these cookbooks have become increasingly bizarre, each one touting a new gimmick that forgets the basic function of food, sustenance. Which brings me to my next guest. He is the owner and head chef of FroPi Party, a trendy restaurant among hipsters and owners of smartphones. He has a new cookbook out of the same name called FroPi Party, in which he shares his controversial recipes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, author and pointless chef, Billy Roth. Mr. Roth, thanks so much for being here. It's great to be on your show, Bjorn. Can I call you Bjorn? We'll get to that in a minute. I kind of just want to make sure people know who you are. Why don't you tell us what a FroPi Party is? A FroPi Party is when the old meets the new. It's when a synergy occurs between processed food and raw food. It's when technology meets the natural world. It's the history of the world right up into the present day, and it's all in your mouth. And what exactly is FroPi? It's just my term for frozen pizza. You've written a cookbook for frozen pizza. I've married the gourmet and the gourmand. It's not about just shoving a pizza in the oven. It's about finding the taste that's right for you. I mean, the FroPi serves as a foundation for a totally unique taste experience. And what about the assertion that frozen pizza tastes like baked cardboard? That's a pretty bold accusation, Bjorn. Have you been to my restaurant? No. Look, what we do at FroPi Party is totally unique. We take the frozen pizza, but then we add the freshest ingredients available. We go to local farmers markets, we import European cheeses, we serve vintage-style sodas. We take the blend and we make it pop. So let me see if I understand this. You take a frozen pizza, you load it up with a bunch of random ingredients, and then sell it at a markup? You make everything sound so mundane, Bjorn. Nothing's mundane at FroPi Party. I mean, just last week I served a Red Baron 4-meat pizza. I with arugula. We put some prosciutto on there, sprinkled some blue cheese, and then a light drizzle of peanut sauce. And I served this to one of the royals. I can't tell you which one, but he said it was the best thing he'd had in the city. I don't know if I'd go around telling people that. The royals are known for their questionable taste. All I'm saying is that that's one of the reasons I love FroPi Party and why I wanted to share my recipes with the world. You know, there's a beauty in subverted expectations and a sublimity in things that we once dismissed as mundane. You know, it inspires me. You know, I feel like FroPi Party can change the world. You know, maybe we can not only re-examine our food, but re-examine our prejudices as well. And you're getting all this from a frozen pizza. Food is universal, Bjorn. Food brings people together. Food can bring the world together. And that's what I'm trying to do. So you're some sort of freezer aisle messiah? No, I'm just a lucky man who found his purpose. Yes, well, good luck with that. I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Coming up after the break, we turn our attention to pseudonyms. Are they encouraging our children to lie? YOLO Jones reports. I'm Bjorn Bjorgen, and you're watching Bookmarks.